You?
Hi everyone, good evening and welcome to Ali Solo's page. Today, yep, I know you're not familiar with these faces. Guess what? We are guests. My name is Etim Glory or that tall girl, and with me is
Michael.
yep,
Ebury.
his name is Michael. And yes, like I said earlier, we are guests on this page. So we are going to be talking about a very lovely, entertaining, and educative topic today. And this topic is five things that we wish we knew while growing up. I bet there are a lot of us out there some certain ideas, opinions, or things that we wish we knew whilst we were growing up. But then, you know, we have matured and then we are gradually learning these things. So we are going to talk about, the few ones that concerns us. So I think I will start. So I'm going to keep the ball rolling. And the first thing I'm going to be talking about, which I wish I knew when I was growing up, is the idea of being me. Yeah. I wish I had proper understanding of when they say you have to be you. A lot of times you hear people say things like, oh yes, you have to be you just have to act like you don't be any other person. When you talk about building a brand, you're talking about building that particular brand, not building a brand that is looking like another brand. So you, I wish I knew that earlier actually. So I grew up with oh, you just have to go to school, you just go to school, read. It was basically all about reading, studying, coming out with good grades. Yes, my parents sometimes would talk about, oh yeah, you have to, what's that talent and all, but then it came like later on in life, not at the early stage. But then being me, I discovered me when I got admission into school. I have always had the passion for dancing right from when I was way younger. But then when I got admission to school, I think that was where that passion actually grew. 100 level, I was still trying to struggle my way into Unilag, being a fresher and all of that. 200 level, it was still a whole lot of struggle trying to balance it. And probably because I was not in the hostel and I was like, squatting with aunties and uncles and all of that. But immediately I entered the hostel, I was squatting though. I think I was beginning to figure myself. I started discovering who I really was. And then, yeah, it helped out a lot. I know I'm not where I want to be actually, but then I'm gradually, like, I'm learning. It's like a process. So I keep learning about myself, like, more about myself every day. So being you is very much important. You have to be you. Don't be somebody else. Oh, I love how she is. So you start copying. No, discover yourself, know you, spend quality time trying to discover who you are. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to give the floor to Mr. Michael so you can tell us one tip that he wished he knew while he was growing up. Mr. Michael, over to you.
Okay. Uh, I'm Michael by name, and life all about knowledge. Um, it's knowledge that actually propels or guide us. It's like a guide to everything we do in life, and knowledge is the key. I grew up in. Let me give a little bit history of my younger version while I was coming up. Up in a military barrack, and you know how barrack children could be very playful. My younger age, while I was coming up, I was quite very playful, extremely playful,
Hmm.
you know. And
Yes.
then we just have this mentality that our parents are there for us, you know. Anything you want, mommy and daddy will provide, you know. And when we get to that bridge we'll cross, we weren't actually figuring the future and start preparing for the future early in our tender age, you know. And I think part of that reason is that, to be frank, I didn't really have a good mentorship while I was growing up. And in a way, it actually affected me somehow. because in life, aside the mentorship you get from your parents, your mother and father, it is also very important that as a younger person growing up, you should have somebody you're actually to positively. You have somebody that run to for advice. You know, when you're that's our baby brain. It's not everything we know. There are some situations we meet in life that we get stuck at it. And then you will need somebody to like, this is what is bothering me, or this is where I am, or this is what I'm thinking, or what is your opinion, what's your idea? And then that person with his maturity based on experience, yeah, he's got over times in life, based on his age, and probably also maybe his level of education, he would have gotten a broader education because education also is another way of teaching us about life. So when you have somebody like that, you can always run to that person can say, okay, this is how it should be. If you go like this is how it will end. When you go like this is how it will end. So you have it will give you an idea to avoid some certain things you get. Then when we were growing up, we didn't actually have such persons. We just do things on our own, the way we feel is best. So coming to the maturity on our adult age now, looking back at what we've done previously, you now be like thinking, wow, I wish I didn't do what I did. I wish I had done what I would have done. You get all of that boils down on good mentorship. So I still feel if I had good mentorship then while I was growing up, I'm not actually, my life today is not actually bad, but I think if I was under a good and proper mentorship,
It would have been
it would
better.
have been much more
Mm-hmm.
better.
Mm-hmm.
So mentorship, the early
Very
age of my life,
important.
is one of the things I miss that I really
Very
wish I had.
important.
Right?
Yeah.
And but we're also growing up. We were told that you go to school, you graduate, you become a doctor, you become a lawyer, you become
An engineer.
an engineer,
Yeah.
you
A
get.
medical
So
doctor.
they now sink that idea to our head that if I'm not a doctor, if I'm not an engineer, if I'm not a medical doctor, like all those professional courses, like
Yes.
you get.
Means you are
So
nowhere.
you now, and when you're growing up, you don't really know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you now start growing up, you now begin to discover your abilities, where you're good at, things you're good at. Okay, I'm good in art, I'm not good in science. I'm good in science, I'm not good in art. You get. But if you have a good mentorship, somebody that will sit you down, you get, for you to study your book, the person will now know, okay, he's good in mathematics, he's good in intro tech. Okay, this kind of person will be good in physics in the future.
Yes.
You get, oh, he's very fluent in speaking, he's good in literature. This kind of person will be good to be a newscaster in future. You get, all of that will now help you to track your ways. You now focus early on what you want to be. But when we were growing up, guy, we were just doing the thing on our own. We're just doing the thing on our own. And then me, I was saying to myself that in the future I will be an engineer. Let me shock you. In my SS1, I did science. In my SS2, I did science. In my SS3, I swapped to art. You
Oh
understand?
God.
When I now saw that, man, if I follow this way, it go bloody for future because my brain no just dey there for physics. That thing called physics, right? I don't know it. But even while I was in the science course, whenever they are having government class, I love politics. Anything politics,
No
like
wonder, no wonder he argues a lot.
I'm following them headlong, right? So whenever they are attending government class, even when I was a science student too, whenever we are free, I would always want to